All right, we have some new to test out today. In particular, I'm the most excited to create a look with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos palette. I haven't bought a palette from Anastasia in a hot minute, so when I saw this, I was like, yes, give it to me. And then I have one of the new Makeup by Mario cream blushes. I have the new Juvia's Place highlighter, and a couple other things as well. Welcome if you are new here, my name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Let's get to testing some of these products. I am going to link everything down below in the description box, and if you enjoy this while you're watching it, please give it a thumbs up. Let me give you a little information about the ABH palette, give you some close-ups and some swatches. So this is the Cosmos eyeshadow palette. It does retail for $55, which is pricey, but you know, Anastasia is a high-end brand inspired by explosively sparkling star-filled galaxies. Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmo eyeshadow palette contains 12 pigmented eyeshadows ranging from neutral to turquoise tones in matte and intensely reflective metallic finishes. This essential eyeshadow collection features highly pigmented, easy-to-blend formulas and offers a versatile color range for creating everything from subtle to dramatic summer eye looks. Sounds good to me. I did purchase this on Anastasia's website the day that it launched, and Patty Alonso, she actually put up on her community page a link that brought me there, gave me a discount, and gave me free expedited shipping. So needless to say, I've had this for a while, but I am behind. So let's create something with this today. I'm excited. I have not watched anybody else's videos on this palette because I wanted to get my own opinions. That's kind of usually what I'll do. So I'm gonna take a really fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into the lightest matte shade called Space Dust. I've already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, by the way. In true Anastasia fashion, a lot of kick up in the pan. I have not bought an ABH palette since the JACLYN palette. So what was that? 3-4 years ago? I don't know. Time means nothing to me right now. You'll have to let me know if you picked this palette up or not and what your thoughts are on it. Okay, so that was fine. It's not super pigmented. It seems like in the past, from the ABH palettes that I've tried, you know, the OG classics like Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, the mattes are like extremely pigmented, almost to a fault, but this one was much easier to use overall, so that's good. I'm gonna go in with a slightly smaller fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Comet, which is like a warm reddish brown, and I'm gonna place this lower in the crease. Yeah, once again, I don't feel like that's overly pigmented like their shades usually are, so that may or may not be a good thing for you, but I don't mind it. I actually think it's easier to work with, generally speaking, so. Okay, I'm gonna take a smaller brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Eclipse, this darker brown, and I'm gonna place this in the outer corner. While I'm doing this, I have to tell you a story. So me, my husband, his niece and nephew, and my father-in-law, we went to Busch Gardens in Tampa on Friday last week. And I don't ride roller coasters. So why did I go, you ask? I don't know. I got roped into it. I'm the bag holder, the designated bag holder. It was really pouring rain that day, and a lot of the rides were closed. The park was pretty darn empty. It was like a Friday afternoon. And a lot of the roller coasters that they went on had no line. So I sat outside one of the ones that they were going on, and I'm telling you, I must have waited for over an hour for them to get on this roller coaster and come off. And I'm telling you, there was like nobody in the park. It should not have taken that long. So pause for a second. That shade was really nice, good, true to pan, not overly like getting everywhere like sometimes ABH shadows can. So I'm happy with the mattes that I've used so far. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna go into Dark Matter, which is like the darkest brown, almost black shade, and just put that super low in the outer corner. Back to my story, there is a point, I'm getting to it. So I went to the bathroom and I came back to see if they had come off the ride, and my father-in-law and my niece came off the ride, and we were waiting for my husband and his nephew. And who comes off the roller coaster? Okay, about 25 yards away from me, JACLYN Hill. At first, I didn't see her. I saw her husband, Jordan, I think his name is, right? And I saw him and I went, oh my goodness, that's JACLYN Hill's husband. I didn't know it was her husband. I thought it was her boyfriend. And then I look and it's JACLYN Hill next to him. And I was like, whoa. It just took me by surprise. I made eye contact with her and I said, oh, hey, JACLYN. Like, I was just surprised. I was like, JACLYN Hill. And she looked at me and gave me a big smile, literally ran up to me and gave me a big hug, which I thought was really nice. That is not at all what I was expecting at all, because I've heard horror stories about her, but I don't know. And I said, hey, oh my goodness. She said, oh my goodness, it's so nice to meet you. And I thought it was interesting because she said it was nice to meet me, but she didn't ask my name or anything. Anyway, nice to meet you, all smiles. Her makeup looked literally perfect. And when I tell you, it was pouring rain, thunderstorming, humid. Her makeup looked perfect. And I had no makeup on. So I looked like a greasy girl from the Victorian era who had typhoid. I'm gonna pause. We're gonna get to the shimmer. Which one do I want to use? There's so many choices. Sometimes when there's too many choices, it's hard to choose, right? Ooh. Oh, there's so many good choices.
2,000 years later.
I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Sun. This is a duochrome from gold to pink. It looks beautiful. This one, Quasar, also looked beautiful, but it looks like it's more of a topper, like a translucent base to it. And I want something a little more opaque. So I'm gonna spray the brush. I've been doing this lately. Usually I am a glitter primer girl, but I've been liking spraying the brush. So I'm gonna pick it up first on my brush and I'm gonna spray the brush. Oh, ooh, that is beautiful. So just upon like touching that shade, it's definitely that typical ABH metallic where it's like pretty darn thick. I definitely would suggest spraying the brush just to give it a little moisture so that it almost becomes like a cream on the lid. But I think it does look really pretty. Is it the strongest shifting duochrome? Actually, yeah, there is quite a shift. Can you see? I never know if you can see these things, but it is pretty. Another thing that's new to me, it's not new, is the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner, and I got the brown shade called In Big Truffle. I had been asking for recommendations for brown liquid liners that were actually brown, that weren't like so dark brown they look black, and a lot of you recommended this one to me. So I haven't even used the black one before, and it's a felt tip, which I didn't know. That's kind of a bummer. I wish I'd known that, but that's okay. I want to give it a shot. Let me attempt to make a wing, and then I will continue with my story, okay? There's no way I can do this and talk at the same time. Okay, so I am back. Everything else that I put on my face, I will put in the description box. I couldn't do the wing liner on camera, but ease of use, I would say out of 10 being the easiest thing in the world, I would say it's about a 7.5. Didn't really have a big issue. It was fine. It's definitely brown. It's definitely like a warm brown, almost a reddish brown. So I love that. That's exciting. So thank you for the recommendations out there. Let's just finish up the lower lash line really quick. I'm gonna repeat the mattes that I used, starting with Dark Matter, then Eclipse, then Comet, and then Space Dust. So back to JACLYN Hill. She said it was nice to meet you, and I said, oh, did you guys get married yet? Because honestly, I don't. Got some fallout there. Because honestly, I don't think I follow her on social media anymore. Obviously, I don't, because I missed that they got married. And she goes, oh yeah, we've been married for a couple months now. And I thought, oh God, I feel like an idiot. But I'm sure she doesn't care. And then she started saying like, oh, he just went on this roller coaster with me and he did it just for me because I wanted to go on it and he really was scared and blah, 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 and just going on and on. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip Eclipse. I'm gonna go to Comet next. And I was just saying congratulations on getting married. You know, at some point, I don't know about you guys, but I hate small talk. So at some point when the small talk came to an end, I was just like, oh, yep, it's nice to meet you, bye, and walked away. Because I didn't really have much else to say. But kind of my point is, she was very, very nice, very welcoming, very warm. She came up to me, which I wasn't expecting. Her makeup looked absolutely perfect. She looked really beautiful. She's shorter than I thought she was going to be, as with a lot of people. She was, I don't know if she was shorter than me or about my height. I'm 5'4". Her husband was very nice. And anyway, another point I wanted to make was she was with an entourage of people, like a lot of people. And the reason we were waiting so long for my family to get off the ride was her and her entourage like walked in and got to skip the line. They had VIP. That's what my niece told me. She's 17 and she knows who, well, she goes, oh, is that the girl that had that Morphe palette? And I said, yeah. She said, oh, that's why she got to skip the line with all of her people. I said, oh yeah, that's probably why. I'm going to go in with Sunnyvale from ColourPop in my waterline. For me, there's no real like perfect inner corner shade in here, so I'll put something in my inner corner in a little bit. So I will say, going off camera and going in front of my window over there by my makeup desk, this metallic is not super metallic. It's not sparkly, and it does look a little unflattering on my lids. And also the matte shades were very, very creasy in my outer corner. It could just be my eyes. It could be that I didn't give my eye primer enough time to dry down. It's all very possible. This is not a review. I'm gonna have to continue using this palette, and I'll put it in a palette ranking in the future. But upon first impression, it's good, it's fine. I'm not blown away, but I do like the fact that the mattes seem to be a little easier to work with than their past palettes, just like overall. Okay, so for bronzer, this is another thing that's not necessarily new, but it's new to me, and I wanted to use it on camera with you. So I got another shade of the ColourPop Press Powder Bronzer. I do already have two shades. I have the shades Summerland Beach and Avila Beach, and these two were sold at Target. That's where I bought them. And Avila Beach is way too light for me, and Summerland Beach is too deep for me. But at Target, there is no shade in between. So ColourPop reached out to me and asked me if they could send me some things. And I said, is the Pope Catholic? That's not really what I said. I said, yeah, of course. So they told me to pick out a few things from their site. So I picked out Coconut Beach, which is in between these two shades. And this is an OG classic from the Going Coconuts collection. And I remember everybody loving this bronzer, and I never picked it up. So I want to try it today. I'm just going to take my angled brush from ABH Cosmetics, get in there, take a sip of water first. Let's see how this works out. I don't have any clips to put my hair back. Oh, I do. Oh yeah, already I can tell just from that little tap, tap, tap. This is a much better shade for me personally. That looks perfect. It's like slightly warm, but not too orange. Beautiful. Did you have this bronzer back in the day? Let me know. That looks beautiful. I'm very happy with that. Coconut Beach. All right, a new product that I want to try out is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. That is hard to say. It's his cream blush, basically, his new cream blush. I got mine in the shade Just Peachy. So the claims on this are a weightless cream blush that is made with hyaluronic acid to hydrate and plump the skin with a sheer veil of color. Light coverage, radiant finish. Neither of those things are things that I usually go for, but I couldn't help myself. I had to try it. So the color looks really pretty. Look at this peach. I'm excited. So I did just swatch it on my hand. It definitely looks very balmy and not super pigmented. So I've heard that about this formula. I remember the bronzer type thing he came out with. I didn't personally try that, but okay. So I have a e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, which is my favorite brush for cream products. I'm gonna pop in there. Just to be safe, I'm going to tap off on my hand. Very balmy. I'm scared. It's definitely very pretty, but it is very radiant. Which maybe you would like that. I have very oily skin, so maybe wintertime this would do me better, but the pigment is there. Like, you can definitely see it. The color is absolutely beautiful. It is somewhat breaking down my foundation here because it's so emollient. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, but wasn't like the most seamless application, but that's what it looks like. It's pretty. It's pretty. I'll continue using it, and I am gonna wear this all day, all night. I'm dancing later, so let's see. Let's see how this holds up. I don't know. Okay, and then I have the new Juvia's Place Nubian Glow Liquid Luminizer. So I did buy this for pickup at my store. I went into my Ulta and I didn't see the product. And then I came home and I looked online and it was available for pickup. So maybe they had them in the back room. I don't know. But all that to say, when I opened it up in my car, this color looks so beautiful. It's almost like a cool toned rosy gold. It's in the shade Starstruck. This looks so beautiful. So the component is the same as the liquid blushes that they came out with recently. Yep, same exact doe foot and everything. So this is the Nubian Glow Liquid Luminizer. It comes in 5 shades and it does retail for $18. So just swatching it on my hand, this looks very wet looking, like so pretty. I'm very excited to try this out. So I usually, with liquid products, I like to apply them with my fingers. So that's usually a safe bet for me. So I'm gonna take, I just wiped off what I had on my hand. I'm gonna take just a little dot of this. I'm gonna pick it up on my fingers just a little bit at first. Ooh, that's really pretty. Ooh, that's really pretty. Ooh, that is beautiful. I like that a lot. There's a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, but I don't think it's like stripy looking or over the top. When I look forward, I don't see a cast, but it is very wet looking. Ooh, I'm so excited to have this. Okay, and then the last thing I want to try with you guys on camera before I go off and finish up the look and show you the final look is another product that's honestly, it's not new, but it's new to me. So this is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. I'm the last person on earth to try this. I know. I got mine in the shade Peachy Beige. I just lined my lips with the ColourPop BFF Lippy Pencil. So let's go in with this bad boy. I'm very excited. It smells like coconut. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I've tried quite a few versions of this, you know, that other brands make. I'm not saying dupes, but versions. And this one is very interesting. I don't need to describe it to you. You probably used it, but it's much more of a lipstick. Like, it's very pigmented. It feels like a lipstick. Ooh, I like that. And I like the color. Very nice. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it came out really pretty. My overall just like first impression thoughts on everything. This is good. I don't feel like I'm overly impressed, but I am going to continue using this. I think the look ended up looking really pretty. I do love that a mainstream brand is incorporating duochromes. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. So I'm going to continue using that. This bronzer from ColourPop is beautiful, the perfect color, exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm happy to have that. The eyeliner I already gave you my thoughts on, happy to have that. This lipstick is beautiful. It is beautiful. Happy to have this. It's got a minty sensation to it. It's not burning. I love the color. It's beautiful. The blush looks really pretty. It is a little more radiant than I would usually go for, but I love this peachy color, and I think that it ended up looking really pretty on the skin. It's not overly pigmented, so it's easy to build up, which is nice. And then this liquid luminizer from Juvia's looks so pretty. Very wet looking, very intense. I used hardly any at all, and girl, it's there. So those are kind of my thoughts. First impression thoughts. I'm going to continue using these products. I will put them in a future speed reviews video, and I want to hear from you now. Let me know your thoughts on any of these products. Have you picked any of them up? If you didn't, did you want to? Are you not interested? Let me know your thoughts because I love hearing from you. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.